If you're not already reading this book, what are you doing with your life? Stop whatever you're doing, go out and get yourself a copy. But first, stick around for the rest of this video. Today's book is entitled Dear Child by author Romy Hausmann. But before I begin today's review, I want to address something. You know how when we're looking for our next read, we head to Amazon's bestseller list, we head to Goodreads, or we head to booktube. Well, guess where I found this book? At the drugstore, which ended up reminding me, this is where I found those first books by my favorite author. Books by Stephen King, Dean Koontz, Johanna Lindsey. I found them while out perusing the drugstore or one of my favorite department stores. So maybe the next time when you're looking for that next book, instead of going to social media or going on the internet, maybe get out the house and see what's out there. In case you haven't figured it out, I'm kind of excited about today's book. It's told from three perspectives. First, we have Jasmine, who's the woman who's recently escaped from her kidnapping. Then we have Hannah, who happens to be the daughter of the kidnapper. And then we have Matthias Beck, who's the father of the woman, Lena Beck, who was originally kidnapped 14 years ago. So this is where it gets interesting. Jasmine has recently escaped her kidnapping after 4 months. However, while she's trying to escape, she gets hit by a car and she ends up at the hospital with both her and Hannah. But when she's questioned by the police, she tells them that her name is Lena. And because she says her name is Lena and she also has this scar above her eye, which is the same scar that Lena had, the police contact Matthias and tell them that they have this woman at the hospital who's answering to the name of Lena. Well, of course, Matthias has been looking for his daughter for the last 14 years, so he and his wife jump into the car and they head off to the hospital. Unfortunately, he finds out that Jasmine is not Lena. However, while he's there with the police, he sees this young 13-year-old girl walking through the hallway who looks exactly like his missing daughter, Lena. So now we have all these questions that are out there that need to be addressed. And one of the things I love about this book is that for those of you who may have trigger warnings, the story is told after the kidnapping happens, so you don't have to go into those gory details of what happens to a woman when a man takes her by force against her will. And although we get flashbacks from Jasmine's perspective, the thing is, Jasmine has decided that she wants to compartmentalize some things that's happened to her during her kidnapping. And she decides in the beginning that she doesn't want to be known as that girl who has been sexually assaulted. She doesn't want people looking at her in that way. So she keeps that information to herself and refuses to give it to the police. And another thing that I love about this book is that because it's told from the first person perspective, when we go inside the mind of Matthias and some of the things that he does, I find it very curious to see how he reacts to certain things. Have you ever known somebody that's like the complete opposite from you? Somebody that's kind of a butthole, which is what Matthias is, and you want to live inside their head for about 30 minutes so you can see how they view the world, view things from their perspective, to see what makes them tick. Well, in this book, we get to see that. We get to see Matthias, who's for the last 14 years, even before the story began, he does some things that ends up putting his family into a negative light when it comes to the press. He leaks out certain information and it never fares well for him and his wife. However, even though he's known that in the past the things that he's done has not ended up well for him, he still continues to do these things. And I just love how Romy was able to do that in this story and give me a little bit of perspective of how someone like that, how their mind thinks. And another thing that I love about the story is that for any of you who know me and have seen any of my other videos, you know that I've been on the lookout for a mystery novel. Well, when I picked this book up, I had no idea that it was a mystery. But one of the crazy things about this story is, even though there's a mystery and we're trying to figure out who the kidnapper is and we're trying to find out what exactly happened to Lena, we're not trying to figure it out for ourselves. I was just reading the story and moving from page to page, but even though I wanted to get to the end of the story, I really didn't want it to end. I just wanted Romney to reveal this information to me, but I didn't want to try to figure it out myself. And I guess that's what makes a great mystery. So if you're looking for a mystery with twists and turns where you're as much in the dark as the characters are, then this should be your next read. I mean, you got Jasmine, who's dealing with this traumatic event where in the hospital they lock her in a room for her safety after she's been locked in the cabin for 4 months. And then you have Hannah, the 13-year-old girl, who we're thinking that she's up to no good, and you are trying to figure out whether or not this girl is involved in some of the things that's happening in this book. And we have Matthias, who's up to no good, but you're kind of feeling sorry for him because he's lost his daughter, but then you're also kind of like, Matthias, you need to stop the things you're doing. So I want you guys to go out and get your own copy so you're just as excited about this book as I am. So that concludes today's video, and I hope you enjoyed hearing about Dear Child as much as I enjoyed telling you guys about it. Until next time, you guys stay safe, be careful, and try to do something nice for a stranger so that we can all do our part to try and make this world a better place.